Good day, everyone. So today we will have your last lesson in block 7. So we have here the word problem. Mr. White took his bicycle to the mechanic. The mechanic charged 136 pesos for new bicycle parts and 20 pesos per hour for the hours of work. If the mechanic spent 4 hours on the repairs, what is the amount Mr. White has to pay to the mechanic? So we have here, we all know that the charge for the new particle would be 136. And the hour for work would be 20 pesos per hour. And in the word problem, it stated that 4 hours was the number of hours that the mechanic spent to repair the bicycle. So the first thing we need to do is to know how much would be Mr. White needs to pay for the mechanic for the repairing of the bicycle. So 20 pesos times 4, that is 80 pesos. And we need to add the charge of the new bicycle parts, which is 136 pesos. So if we will add this one, we will get the total amount of Mr. White needs to pay to the mechanic. So 80 pesos plus 136, that would be 216 pesos. Therefore, Mr. White needs to pay 216 pesos to the mechanic. So today we will learn about solving multi step problems in lesson 4. So I just want to remind everybody that we cannot use always the DMAS or MDAS rule on solving a multi-step word problem. Why? Because we always pertain with the given or the statement of our word problem. So this would be our aim for today. We will solve word problems that have more than two operations. So in your activity, we have to read carefully the word problems, form expressions, and solve the following. If we cannot use the DMAS or MDAS rule in solving the word problem, then we can do the chunking of or step-by-step manner of solving the following word problems. So let's start with your letter A. Rebecca has 315 oranges and 140 oranges. She distributed this among 35 friends. Each friend used 5 oranges and 2 mangoes to make a pudding. How many oranges and mangoes does each friend have now? So we have here first, we can do solving this one into step-by-step manner. Okay, let's start with the important given number, which is oranges. So oranges, Rebecca has 315 oranges. And from the keyword distributed, we need to divide it by 35. So 115 divided by 35 would be 9. And let's go with the next important keyword here, or the important information, which is mangoes. She has 140. So 140, we need to divide it by 35 friends who will share the total of this fruit. 140 divided by 35 would be 4. So we will go with the next statement. Each friend used 5 oranges and 2 mangoes to make the pudding. So we all know that the oranges in each friend will have 9, while the mangoes will have 4 in each. So they used, when you say used, they take away to use it for something, for making pudding. So we need to subtract. So we will need to subtract the number of the total of oranges per each to the number of the oranges and mangoes they used. So 9 minus 5, we got 4. And the mangoes, they used 2 mangoes. So we just need to subtract by 4 minus 2. the remaining is 2. So we can see that each friend left with 4 oranges and 2 mangoes. Let's go back with letter B. Let's go with or proceed to the letter B. Mike bought 18 dozen eggs for the grocery store. He saw that around 30 were spoiled and gave 15 to his neighbor. How many eggs does he have left? So we all know that the number of eggs is 18 dozen. But then we don't know if how many is the total number of eggs in 18 dozen. So we all know that the hen for a dozen, 1 dozen is equivalent to 12 eggs. So we will have 18 times 12, and the number of spoiled would be 30. So meaning spoiled, we cannot use that one or cooked because they are rotten. The next would be the number of eggs gave to his neighbor, that is 15. So now we can create an expression by solving the following problem. So we have the remaining eggs. 18 times 12, the number of eggs, spoiled eggs, so we need to subtract it because we cannot use that one or eat that one. And gave, so we take away the 15, gave to your neighbor. So in able for us to do this one, we need to multiply first. 18 times 12, that is 216, minus 30 minus 15, we got 171 eggs. So we can see that he has 171 eggs left. And the last one, Andy took out 1,532 pesos from the bank. He paid 365 pesos as house rent and 467 for groceries. He gave half to the rest to his grandmother. How much money does he have left? So this one, we can do solution by chunk. Okay, we will do the statement one by one. So the first, and this money is 1,532. He paid 365 as house rent. House rent is charged. So meaning we need to subtract. So house rent, we need to subtract 1,532 pesos to 365 pesos. So the remaining of this money would be 1,167. But then there is still charge or also with the groceries. So we need to subtract it again. So 1,167 minus 467, we got 700 pesos. So this is the remaining of Andy's money. Not yet, because he gave half to the rest to his grandmother. So he is so kind. So he gave the half of 700 to his grandmother. So we need to divide it. So the remaining would be 350 pesos. Therefore, Andy has 350 pesos left. So what are some keywords that you see in the word problems? So if you will go back with the 3 word problems, we see how many have left, half, distribute, gave, each. So these are the keywords that will represent for the operation we will use. So how does keywords help in solving word problems? So these keywords help in identifying the operation that needs to be used to get our correct and final answer. Now that you know how to solve the multi-step problems or word problems, I want you to answer the following in your workbook, Seat Work number 4, page 38. And do not forget to pass your work in our Google Classroom classwork lesson 4. So that would be all for today. God bless.